ABCD is a trapezium in which AB is parallel to DC. BD is a diagonal and E is midpoint of AD. A line is drawn through E parallel to AB. So by default all these three lines are parallel to each other. To intersect BC at F, and we can call this as O, right? Show that F is the midpoint of BC. Okay, so we have to prove that F is the midpoint of BC. Now you guys have to pause and think over what is given, what is that we need to prove, and can we do anything with the diagram, any kind of construction, or is this enough? So as of now, I don't think we need to change the diagram. So let's go with the given. So we have ABCD, a trapezium. So here DC is parallel to AB. Then what else? We have E is the midpoint of AD. E is midpoint of AD and parallel. Okay. Then we have a line is drawn parallel AB. Okay. So we have B EF is parallel to AB. Okay. So EF is parallel to AB. So EF will also be parallel to DC. That's one more thing. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. So a few things which we can conclude and tell that we'll do once we write this to prove F is midpoint of BC. Now the proof. So first thing first, we have a line parallel to AB and we have this to be the midpoint. So what does come to your mind? If I consider this triangle, which I am shading now, so what can we tell? We can tell that as per converse of midpoint theorem, point O will be the midpoint of DB. Okay, so let's begin with that. Let O be the point of intersection of EF and DB. So now let's talk about, consider triangle ADB. So as EO is parallel to AB and E is midpoint of DA. So what can we conclude? We can conclude that O is midpoint of DB. Why? As per converse of midpoint theorem. Okay, so the next part is quite simple again. So think about what we have to do. So we have proved that O is the midpoint of DB. Consider this triangle. Okay, so what can we talk about this triangle? So consider triangle DCB. Here too we have as we need to actually talk about EF being parallel to DC. So as AB is parallel to EF and AB is also parallel to AB is also parallel to DC, correct? This implies DC is parallel to EF. Reason: lines parallel to a common line are parallel to each other, Okay, so we proved that DC is parallel to EF, that is DC is parallel to OF. Okay, then O is the midpoint of DB and O is midpoint of DB. So what can we conclude? We can conclude that F is the midpoint of CB actually. Okay, so again this is as per corners of midpoint theorem. You need not write it because we already stated it once. And this is your answer.